Okay, the time is 5:12 p.m. September 28th, 2025. Yes, I was poisoned. Yes, it goes gushing out. Yes, I had to wash myself a little duvet with soap and water and everything. Yes, I have to take my pants off, change my underwear, the whole fucking gamut, over and over and over again here. On with the pants, off with the pants, fresh underwear, take the underwear off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Wash your ass, bude, bude, bude. Diarrhea, diarrhea, diarrhea. Like, stop poisoning me. Stop fucking poisoning me. You fucking scumbags. I'm back. The pain they caused me, man. The pain. And when I was out there, I heard combat. Been from talking about where I heard it. It was down below me. That's it. I can't say what direction. I heard 2 people go down. You heard about a minute as I was gushing diarrhea, I heard one go down, and then right behind him, another down. It still goes on here. I hear constant fucking physical combat like that here to this day. So, okay, I'm taking it out on people who do not need to have me shout this at them. Let's calm down. I just had to go diarrhea racing, heard fucking Mortal Kombat. I'm sick, I'm scared. Poison, you heard me how I said the poison, how long I was feeling sick from it. You know? And that the pain, this is a lighter poison than some of it's just screechingly painful. And then you still, no matter what poison, you go racing out there, gushing everything in your intestines out. And then, oh God, I can't talk about it. You hear combat. You always do. People going down. I'm forbidden from saying anything more about it. And then you have to take your underwear off, take your pants off, get the soap, get the washcloth, take a bath, a bidet. Every time. Up and down with the pants, on and off with the underwear. Bidet, soap. Like, just stop fucking poisoning me, you fucking barbarians. You know how much toilet paper I go through? Listen to my voice. These fucking people in this city and this country better fucking get it. They are, okay? I know they are. Because of the DOJ letter. And I gotta calm down because people who hear this don't need the rage and the anger. I know that, okay? I'm trying to get that under control for other people. When they sent the DOJ letter saying that they were bringing their law enforcement in here, acting as a military force, to take over this chemical weapons compound, which Oregon harvests and does atrocities out the ears. The atrocities here are mind-blowing. When the U.S. government claimed this terrorist compound as their own property, when the U.S. government claimed the fake owner as their actual plaintiff and legitimized and all these other words, a violent terrorist who has done nothing but engage in combat with the U.S. Armed Forces, that is the Navy SEALs, and the foreign military, that is the GRU Russian military. When the Department of Justice sent that letter and made a date, it made it official that they were going to claim this. It has gotten so fucking bad in here, worse than I ever knew possible, okay? The place is a disaster zone now, and I'm just running around alone in here in it. I can say that much. It's just basically a disaster zone, but I can't describe what I'm saying. I run around by myself in it, and I sleep safely at night, but that's because of the military that I can't ever talk about. So just so anyone understands, they're not leaving me by myself in here and keeping me alive, okay? It's not their goal here just to leave me running around in a official disaster zone and sleep at night and then do it again and again. It feels like that, but that is not what they're doing. Okay. Okay, so I need to calm down. My body just went through shock and trauma of being poisoned and poisoned and poisoned. Minutes long, and then racing. And the shock and trauma of hearing combat when I was out there, and the shock and trauma of having to clean myself, take my clothes off, take my clothes on, all this crap. It makes you fucking nuts. And then you're physically exhausted and you're physically coming down from physical pain and suffering. They physically torture me in here. Okay? That's what it is. This gas is not meant for diarrhea, but it physically tortures me nonetheless. All right, I'm going to stay calm. So ever since then, ever since the DOJ letter came, it has become a disaster nightmare in here. In this property, I can speak for that, and I've witnessed massive, massive stuff, but I am not stupid, and I will not talk about what I've witnessed, okay? Today, the last 24 hours, Vladimir Putin sent his GRU. This time, his GRU is not here to attack me and the good guys. His GRU is watching all of this compound. They're coming for all their people. Now, they know, the people here know directly Putin's GRU. They're from Russia. They know them. They go in and out of the Pentagon. They say they're Ukrainian. A lot of them did. As of the last 24 hours, Putin doesn't want them to know anymore. And what Putin and his Russian military are on record for doing, it's your college textbook. You'll read this. Your kids talk about this at dinner. It's historical record. They were engaged with atrocities. So going back in modern history, any German military on and on, any military that engages in atrocities doesn't want a lot of people who worked with them, who did it with them, living to tell about it, okay? Even my show, Prime Suspect, did a series about that, an episode series about that. It's textbook. They don't let people who know them live through that, okay? And they do go after witnesses and survivors, but they certainly do. And it's a guarantee if you did it with them, you're really not going to live through it. So the street did it with Putin's Russian military, and as of the last 24 hours, he sent their GRU. Their GRU are their special elite forces, and they're nothing to mess with. I personally know that. And they've been watching all of them, so when they're here to kill. That's why they're here. They're not here for any other reason. And the people on S Street knew they were so protected by these individuals of Putin's, in Putin's Russian military. That's why they had such big, bad attitudes, and they were always smirking, and everybody was so arrogant, walking around with their noses in the air. And they were sitting in those red chairs and sitting in those picnic tables across the street. They were always, laughing like that, and really arrogant because they had Putin's Russian military literally protecting them there every breath. I'm telling you, I know what I'm saying. So the last 24 hours, they're not protecting them anymore. They're here to kill them all. And it's risking me saying that. And you can see I know what I'm talking about because even touching the camera app, I got fucking so poisoned I had to run out there for my dear life, and I heard two go down. But I can't talk about where. A lot of that has to do with this Oregon op. It went really bad. The Oregon sending the Donald Trump's and Biden's troops know the Russian Putin military members. When that Oregon op went to shit, excuse my language after what I just raced to the bathroom and did, Freudian slip. When that Oregon op, which was publicized and put in the media as anti-fascist, are being attacked by the ICE agents, no, those are not anti-fascists, those are fascists. Anyone dressed up as a Hamas terrorist is a fascist. Hamas terrorists who shoot babies in cribs are not victims and are not being victims of genocide. Genocide is Rwanda. Genocide is what happened to the Jewish people in World War II. You need to get your facts straight of what genocide is. All right. Anybody who is anti-fascist does not dress up like a fascist, sexist, belligerent, tyrant, Muslim terrorist with a whole bunch of rags all over their fucking head. Anti-fascist, anarchist punks don't dress up like Muslim terrorists. for the last time today, okay? So that's not why Trump sent those troops. And when that went bad, this Oregon op that went to Connecticut and went on down through the Atlantic, one mountain is dark, one mountain is light, elevated with the lake and across the regions and time zones and ocean. When that went bad, within 24 hours, Putin, to save himself, came here, or his GRU has, and they're not here to protect this terrorist compound anymore. What Putin wants to do, because he's a dictator, he's delusional though, is he wants to keep Trump in power. He wants to pursue and keep using the United States to continue to keep attacking Russia. He's going to have Trump send Tomahawks, Trump send fucking nuclear missiles if he can, and they have been trying to do that, to keep attacking the country of Russia so that Putin can take over Russia and they can take over the U.S., both of them. They're going to keep Trump in power. This Putin's plan, okay? It's not very well thought out, but Putin believes he has Japan and Taiwan. They don't have South Korea anymore. They don't have a lot of the Asian territory, but they have these two places with a scant few other countries. Philippines is one. So he's going to use the Russian military, he's still going to use them. Putin is, his fraction of it, to use the Asia countries to see his white dictatorship through and attack Russia and the U.S. Same big picture, but different tactic. This terrorist compound, they're going to say goodbye to it, okay? So he has all his GRU here watching all these creeps, dude. And when they are here watching, they're here to kill him. It's fucking terrifying, and I'm getting poisoned here in fucking combat, so I know what's happening here. I've been aware of what's happening before I got poisoned, okay? I just can't say a word. And it has everything to do with that Oregon op. And this is the problem, because now they're all going to Virginia, and they're all going to be on the TV again. So this is what's going to cause catastrophic weapons. The evil military, who are German, who are Russian, who are Japanese, who are US, they're not Putin's GRU he sent. Sometimes they coordinate with these ranks, but they're not. And they're extremely dangerous and they're extremely calculated, okay? They're going to start using catastrophic weapons on Russia, on Putin, on all these people, Trump, Biden, any of them who can't stop going on TV. Do you know how stupid that is? To conglomerate again and again and again in front of a military force like I know is here that protected my life? You just go down the street to Virginia and go on TV. Do you know how ill-advised and terminal in your decision process that is? And then bring Donald Trump, the one that just failed in Oregon, that caused Putin to bring all his GRU to this camp to assassinate the very terrorists that I can never talk about. I'm talking about the ones I know, I see. The ones that believe to the moon and back they're protected by these guys. They're not anymore. The camp is getting really shut down. That's because of the DOJ claiming ownership. It went bad. It went opposite. If I go to a tent in a camp yard, this place will not be churning and burning and roaring and steaming away with all of Trump's military, feds, prostitutes, and domestic terrorists filled up in these bedrooms here. It's going to be bombs away. I meant what I said. The good guys is a military force here you don't want to play with. They protect me. I sleep at night here. That's how I do it. They're going to bomb the DOJ. They have to. They have to bomb the FBI. They have to protect our country. The DOJ and the FBI and U.S. feds are now claiming to come and seize it, make it churn and burn, and go into full business, full speed ahead with atrocities. But you know what? Putin's GRU and Putin don't think the same way. They're actually assassinating everyone because they know over there this camp isn't working out. It's the U.S. that believes it is because Donald Trump said, or it would have been Biden, the president. It's the power of the president. He said we can come in. We have the Pentagon. We can come in. We can just go to this big, phony, fake conglomeration in Virginia and say we are military American might. Nothing can stop us. And Putin is encouraging that. But Putin at the same time is lying to half his people here and saying one thing to them about this camp and sending covert the very same people who protected them to kill him. This camp will be fucking empty. And that's what they plan. They plan to have this camp be empty, go after me, go after the GRU, and then take it over, take it back. But it'll be empty. There won't be any terrorists driving in and out. No, they're killing them right now. That's what the GRU is here for. The bad guys. It's hard to keep up because there's GRU that saved my life. I'm done trying to explain that. You're just going to have to keep up. It's not my fault or problem anymore. Putin sent his GRU in here to kill all these fucking loudmouths. When the GRU comes, they come to kill you, dude. To put it into perspective, they're a military elite unit. What do you think they're doing there? All right. If a person is actively engaged with, committing atrocities with a foreign military elite unit, what do you think might happen to you? You're deranged enough to do what you did, so who cares, I guess, what you think? But you really should have considered it. Okay, so this place will be shut down, and then if I'm in the tent or if I'm here, I don't know, probably a tent, they'll come after me and the GRU again to reclaim it, and he's going to keep he's going to keep Trump in power in order to set up that white dictatorship. But it's failure after failure after failure. The camp has failed because they've sent in the DOJ. It went polar opposite, absolutely the opposite of what they intended. The polar opposite happened. It was failure, not victory. So whoopsie doopsie, shouldn't have sent the DOJ to claim a terrorist compound. No, you shouldn't have. And then the next thing you know, there they are. They're all off to Oregon. And then whoopsie doopsie, Oregon went into complete defeat. Now you don't have Oregon. And as soon as that happened, Putin sent in his GRU to wipe everybody out here. It's been hell on earth more than it's been since the DOJ. The DOJ became a disaster zone in here. And the last 24 hours has been absolute hell on earth. That's because of Putin's GRU. Watching every fucking one of these freaks to kill them. To kill them. That's why they're here, okay? What do you think they're for? They're trained fucking military fucking special elite forces. What do you think they're doing here? Okay. And then the following day, get it, the timeline, Putin sends them in. Donald Trump's supposed to go for Putin on TV and do a big shit show. And that's supposed to be some kind of victory. It's not. And what it's causing is this evil military who's camped here, and you can see why they are, to use catastrophic weapons on Russia and catastrophic weapons on the United States. And very possibly catastrophic weapons at that gathering of all these fucking idiots in these militaries. My question is, not all these men in these military uniforms, these men that are going to Virginia, not all of them are completely schizophrenic. They're delusional. That's been established. There's not one that is not in delusion. But to be suicidal and that terminal in your decision process is beyond my comprehension. Defeat after defeat after defeat, and now you're going to do a media frenzy with your face again all over the international news and TV again? 2-3 miles from a fucking terrorist compound again, with a military force that you know is here. You're doing it again. And these people are in the military. It's beyond my I don't understand them anymore. Like their grade of, what is it, dementia? No, I'm serious. It might be. It's really severe. All right, so that'll be on the TV tomorrow. But this is it. I'm going to close with this. When that church in Michigan exploded and went into a fireball seen from miles and miles away, that's not an accidental church fire. That's warfare, and the press, as we know, just keeps covering it up. No matter what kind of explosions, they just say it's nothing. It's just nothing at all, folks. It's just nothing. Left and right facilities and churches and what else are exploding. And what does your fucking news in the US say? And why is that? Because they're guilty of treason. But anyway, so when that church blew up and all these people were shot to bits there, it was really good. That's the evil military. And it was a very stern warning to all these dementia men suffering from dementia, thinking they're going on TV with Trump in Virginia. I would not show up for that shit because catastrophic weapons are very likely to be used in Virginia tomorrow. There is a point where there are military people, whether they're good or evil, that do strategize. And these people here that are within my remote area are suffering from dementia. And this fucking terrorist compound just brought in the goddamn DOJ to their compound. The Department of Defense has claimed S Street Chemical Weapons terrorist compound as their own. Have a good day. Goodbye.